going to start in mountain pose today. This is a little bit of everything yoga practice. So we'll try to work our way around our bodies. But I've really been focusing myself on how important meditation is, not just in my yoga practice or my breathing practice, but in my whole life. And so I want to consider this a moving meditation today. So start with a W shape in your arms. And by moving meditation, I just mean trying to be present for the thing that you're doing in the present moment. Because once you learn that, you start to realize your life can pass you by if you haven't been present in the moment. On your next inhalation, I'm just going to turn sideways so you see what I'm doing here, is squeeze your shoulder blades together and lift your heels if you can. As you exhale, set your heels down, and like you're doing plank pose in the air, press your arms forward, and then we'll do it again. Elbows bend, inhale, lift your heels, draw your lower abdominals in and up a little bit. Exhale, set your heels down and push your arms forward like you're in plank. So now be in your body, be on your mat. We're going to keep going with our breath here, lifting and lowering our heels, squeezing, retracting our shoulder blades, and then protracting our shoulder blades. So take a moment to take your mind down into your feet, into your ankles. Notice if your ankles have a tendency to sway in or sway out. Try to ground down into the base of each of your toes and hug your ankles in from all sides around, especially as you lift your heels. Take your mind into your belly and your lower back and notice if you have a tendency to overarch your lower back or to get rid of your inward low back curve, and try to find the space right in between those two. Imagine as you move back and forth, squeezing in from all sides around your waist. We're going to do 2 more rounds here. Feel your shoulder blades drawing towards each other, and then feel them stretching apart. And 1 more round like that. Squeeze. Good. And stretch apart. Drop your arms and give them a swing forward and back. Good. Now slow down that swing and step your feet out just slightly wide, maybe about 3 feet in distance. Angle your toes out and your heels in. Now as you inhale, like you're stopping traffic, but with bent knees, horse stance, press your arms out. And then as you exhale, make fists, curl your knuckles down toward the ground. Now straighten your arms, and we're going to swing our arms forward and back twice, and then we're going to do it again. Inhale, stop traffic. Exhale, make fists, curl your knuckles down, bent knees and horse stance. And then straighten your arms, inhale, swing your arms twice, and exhale, horse stance. Inhale, knuckles toward the floor, pull your low belly in and up. Straighten your legs, exhale, swing and cross, change the cross if you can, and then we do it again. Inhale, horse stance. Exhale, make fists, knuckles toward the floor. Straighten your legs, inhale, swing open, and we do 1 more round. Horse stance, exhale. Inhale, make fists, knuckles toward the floor. And exhale, swing and cross, and change the cross. Good. Lower your arms and heel toe or hop your feet together. I'm going to turn sideways again just so you can have a different view. Now, pull your right foot back behind you and point your toes. And if you need to hold on to something to support your balance, feel free. Pull your low belly in and up and stand up tall. Now inhale, move your arms back behind you a little bit, and again, just gently squeeze your shoulder blades. As you exhale, bring your right knee up into your chest. Grab hold if you can, and pull that thigh up. So we're going to go back and forth here. Inhale, right leg goes back. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Pull your core muscles in. Exhale, right knee comes up. Hold with both hands unless you need to hold on to something for balance, and then just 1 hand. So let's keep going here. Inhale to extend back. Exhale, knee to chest. Nice and slow. Can you move your mind with your body? Rather than on autopilot, feel your chest opening. Feel the standing balance in that left side outer hip. Quadriceps, hamstrings, try to hug in from all sides around your standing leg. Good. Feel your hip flexors contract as your right knee comes up toward your chest. Let's try 2 more rounds here. Squeeze your glutes on the right side a little bit. And then hip flexors on the right, and one more time. Inhale, try not to overarch your back. And exhale, pull it in and up. Good. Step your feet about shoulder distance apart. Bend your knees a little bit and take a swinging twist. Swing your arms around. Good. Now we're going to lift our arms up higher. And then instead of letting our arms drop, we're going to swing and keep them high. Just a couple rounds. Good. Perfect. One more. Good. And then drop your arms down. Step your feet back in. Stretch your left foot back behind you. Hold on to something if you need to help with your balance. Find the support of your core. Firm your core in. Inhale, squeeze your arms back. Straighten that left leg if you can. Exhale, left knee comes up and grab hold with one or both hands. And now slowly with your breath, inhale and feel. Try to keep the four corners of your right foot grounded down. And spine nice and long in both of these directions. Good. Try not to close off your posture. Shoulders back and down, neck really long. Keep breathing. It's not about making it perfectly graceful, just about showing up and doing the work, trying to help strengthen all your stabilizer muscles in your lower body and your core that help you balance. And then we're moving a little bit of mobility through especially this left hip joint. Good. Breathing deeply as we go. Can you stay here with these two flowing poses for 2 more rounds? In other words, be here with your mind. Good. A moving meditation. It means just being present. That's your last round there as your knee comes up. And then set it down and step your feet shoulder distance apart and start with a swinging twist, a tiny little bend in your knees, just to remind you not to torque your knees too much. And then start to lift a little higher, drop it down. Lift a little higher, drop it down. And then we'll lift and swing. Lift and swing. Good. Keeping your arms about shoulder height. Perfect. One more round. Good. And then bring it down. Step your feet back together. Now, come to the back edge of your mat. So you see the length of your mat out in front of you. So we're going to do a little balancing flow, but you won't need to hold on to anything, so don't worry about that quite yet. But as you inhale, take your arms out and up and see if you can point your right toes off to the right. So I'm just going to move so you can see. Right toes off to the right. And then as you exhale, cross your right foot in front of your left foot. Swing your arms and cross. And then inhale, take your left foot out. Point your toes on the ground. And then exhale, step in front with that left foot. And we're going to go side to side, right foot out, inhale, and then you're starting to walk up your mat a little bit. And inhale, left toes point out to the left. As your arms go up, exhale, swing your arms in front. Good. Inhale, right toes point out to the right. Cross your right foot in front of your left. Cross your arms slowly, and inhale, arms up, left toes point out. Exhale, left foot crosses in front. Now we're going to go back. Inhale, left toes point out to the left, arms come up. Cross your left foot back behind your right. Swing your arms in front. Inhale, right toes point out to the right. Exhale, cross your right foot behind your left. Take it slow. Left toes point out to the left. Exhale, cross your left foot back behind. Inhale, right toes point out to the right. Exhale, cross your right foot back behind. Now, get your feet lined up and at the back of your mat if you're not there. Now this time you're going to have an opportunity to balance a little bit more. So you don't have to take it if you don't want to. So inhale, if you want more balance, arms come out and up. Hover your right foot off the ground. Feel your whole outer right hip and thigh engaging. And then exhale, step across, swing your arms. Inhale, left foot hovers off. Hold that for a moment. You can keep your toe down if you need to. Step across, a bigger arm swing. Inhale, right foot hovers off. We try to hold that for a moment. Exhale, step across in front. And then inhale, left foot hovers off the ground. Use your core. Exhale, step across. Let's try one more for each leg. Inhale, right foot hovers off. Exhale, swing your arms, step across. And left foot hovers off. Inhale. Exhale, swing your arms, step across. Good. Get back onto your mat. Anywhere you like. Now, this next one that we do, this is our final standing balance little exercise. You will most likely need to hold on to something for support unless you're very steady in your balance. So get close enough to hold a chair, a desk, your wall, whatever you have handy. Put your feet under your hips. Take a deep breath in. If you're not going to hold on to anything, take your hands to your heart. As you exhale, chair pose, just a little baby chair. Bend your knees, move your hips back behind you, but keep your chest lifted so you're not slouching. Now, start to peel your right heel away from the ground, and if you can, keep going. Pull your right toes away from the ground and try to stabilize in your left foot and ankle and in your left knee. In other words, don't let your ankle sway in and out, don't let your knee sway in and out. Take a breath in. Now as you exhale, we're going to slowly keep that left knee back. Tap your right toes behind you and lean a little bit forward. Squeeze your glutes. If you want even more challenge, hover that right foot off the ground. Maybe even tilt forward a little warrior three. Take a breath in. And then exhale, slowly come up to stand. Drop your arms for a moment. I'll bend and straighten of your legs. Jiggle them a little. And let's try it on the second side. So you're either holding on to something or hands to your heart. Take a breath in. Exhale, chair. We do this slowly. Try to pay attention. Keep your chest a little lifted. Engage your core. Pull your left heel away from the mat. Now you're on the ball of your left foot. And then if you can, keep going. Pull your left foot up. Your left knee bends and starts to come up. Right knee is bent. Trying to stabilize that right knee and right ankle. So it's a one-legged chair pose. Take a breath in. Now we're going to head toward a crouching warrior three. First, by keeping this right knee bent, tapping your left toes back behind you. Now you're leaning a little bit forward. And if you want more challenge, hover those left toes. Try to feel all the muscles around your hip and thigh engaging. Maybe even lift that left leg up higher. Take a breath in. Come up to stand. Exhale. Drop your arms. Bend and straighten your legs a little bit, one at a time. So let's try it again. Hands to your heart if you're not holding anything. Deep breath in. We'll go a little faster. Exhale, chair pose. Right heel pulls up. If you can keep going, right toes pull away. Take a breath in. Keep a lot of weight in your left heel. Exhale. You can either just tap that right foot back behind you, extend your leg, or hover and tilt toward warrior three. Take a breath in. Exhale, come up to stand. A little jiggle of your legs. Take a deep breath in. We start in mountain pose. Exhale, chair again. Bend your knees. Pull your left heel away from the floor. And left toes if you can. Keep that right knee bent. Stabilize. Take a breath in. Exhale. You can just tap your toes behind you, or you can hover that leg, or you can start to lift it up and tilt forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, up to stand. Legs get a little jiggle. We got one more round. Take a breath in, hands to heart. Exhale, chair. Bend your knees. Inhale, right knee pulls up. Exhale, crouching warrior. That could be toes on the ground, leg extended and hovering, or tilting forward. Take an extra in-breath. Exhale, up to stand. Give yourself a quick break. Then take a deep breath in. Hands to heart if you can. Exhale, chair. Inhale, left heel pulls away, then left foot. Exhale, crouching warrior. Either tap your toes, straighten your leg, or hover that leg, straighten it, or hover and tilt. Right knee bent, deep breath in. Exhale, up to stand. Good. Step slightly wide, a little bit wider than shoulder distance apart, feet parallel. We're coming down for a forward fold. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, bend your knees a little bit. Hinge from your hips, bow down, drop your head if you can. And breathe and stretch your hamstrings. Stretch all the way up across your pelvis, the back of your pelvis. Feel your glutes lengthening. And then relax your spinal muscles the best you can. Bow your head in. Let gravity help lengthen your whole spine. Crown of your head drawing down toward the floor. Breathe there for a moment. You might be straightening your legs a little straighter. If you can get all the way straight without strain, then tighten your quadriceps a little bit. Lift your kneecaps. Breathe, most importantly, and be here in this stretch. Create as much symmetry as you can in the backs of your two legs. Let's try 2 more breaths. Breathe all the way in. Breathe all the way out. And 1 more breath. All the way in. All the way out. We're going to come up with a flat back if we can. So inhale, lift halfway up, hands to hips, little bend in your knees, tight core. Exhale, come all the way up to stand. And then heel toe or hop your feet together. We're going to come right down onto the mat. So you can come on down however you like, and we're coming right down onto our bellies. So a Sphinx pose propped up on your forearms. If you find this a little too deep, then take it down to crocodile pose. So if you're here up on your forearms, elbows roughly under your shoulders, lift your chest, use your lower core a little bit, gently bend your right knee and point and flex your right foot. Now draw your low belly in just a little bit more firmly. Slide your shoulders down away from your ears and breathe deeply, pointing and flexing slowly. Good. Now let's do 5 ankle circles. Move your mind down into your foot, your toes, your ankle, and be part of the movement. Change the direction when you've done 5. Keep breathing. Find your core support. Good. When you've done 5 in the other direction, straighten it out, lower down for a moment. Hands come back to your side ribs. We're going to push-up style, come up to hands and knees. And then in a tabletop position, stretch your right leg back, tuck your toes under on the mat, and start to gently, slowly pulse your heel back and forth. So push with your hands into your mat to stretch your heel back, open your calf muscles, and then back that stretch off by shifting your weight forward a little bit. Now you can keep pulsing like that, or if you'd like a deeper calf stretch on that right side, downward facing dog, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back. Put a bend in your left knee. To the best of your ability, straighten your right leg without hunching your spine, and stretch your right heel back and down. So 2 options. You can be on hands and knees, pulsing, or potentially holding that stretch now for a few breaths. Or you can be in down dog, focusing on your right side, calf muscles lengthening, maybe even your hamstrings if you're tight. Relax your neck. Find the structure of your downward dog with broad shoulders, externally rotated arms, a little bit of support from your front ribs. We'll take another deep breath in. And then exhale, we meet on hands and knees, both knees down, and lower down to your belly. Prop up on your forearms, Sphinx pose. Elbows under shoulders. Lift up through your chest, draw your shoulders down, pull your low belly in, and then bend your left knee and point and flex. So if you feel a lot of negative feedback from your hamstrings on the left side, you don't have to bend deeply. You can bend a shallow bend in that knee. But breathe and feel. Feel your whole body on your mat. Now, 5 slow circles, including movement in your toes, your foot, your ankle, your lower leg. Feel that all the way up to your knee. When you've done 5, do 5 in the other direction. Try not to lose your nice posture in your Sphinx. Your neck is long, your lower back is long, a little bit of core support. Good. And now straighten that left leg out, lower all the way down. Hands come back to your side ribs. Use your core to get to hands and knees. First from tabletop, stretch your left leg back, tuck your toes under, and pulse your heel back and bring it forward. Back and bring it forward. You can keep going, either pulsing or holding, or downward facing dog. Lift your knees and then stretch your left heel back and down with a little bend in your right knee. Push your mat down and forward with your hands as you stretch that left heel back and down. Press the top of your thigh back. On the left side especially. Notice if you're more flexible in your spine or in your shoulders. Notice if you're back bending and collapsing your ribs toward the floor. Firm those front ribs in as needed. Most importantly, breathe and feel. We're almost there. Got another slow deep breath. Good. And then we meet on hands and knees. Now we're going to come down onto our right side for a moment, and you could get a blanket or a pillow or even a block to hold your head, but what I'm going to show is holding my head with my right hand. If this is for some reason not comfortable, so I'm pointing my right elbow up toward the short edge of my mat, holding my head in my hand. If this isn't comfortable, find a way to prop your head up. Okay, now line up your right shoulder and your right hip, knees bent and stacked, and right heel right in line with your right hip. We're going to do what I call ballerina clamshells by lifting our lower legs and feet off the ground. Now squeeze your heels together. Inhale, clamshell that left knee up and open, and then exhale, lower it down. Hug your low belly in and do it again. Inhale, lift. Good. Exhale, lower. So maybe your breath is a little deeper and you can inhale, lift and lower, and then exhale, lift and lower. Keep your heels squeezing gently together. Good. Keep lifting your lower legs and your feet as high as you can without strain off the ground. Good, doing great. These types of clamshells are a little bit harder because you have to work both outer hips and thighs in order to keep those lower legs and feet lifted. One more round. Perfect. Now, drop it down. Good. Now, straighten out your legs. And your top knee, either it bends, step your right foot behind your left leg, or right foot in front of your left leg. If neither of those are comfortable, you can drop your knee down to the floor and, as an option, put a pillow or blanket underneath your right knee. Okay, now we're going to try to stay lying on our right side. Take a breath in, left knee, and as you exhale, we're going to lift and lower that bottom leg. Now, we're going to lift and lower a little bit faster. So that right leg is starting to pulse up and down using your inner thigh muscles. This is an inner thigh strengthener to lift and lower. Good. Flex your foot for a moment and really press through that right heel as you lift and lower. Try 2 more. And then point your toes and keep lifting and lowering. How fast you go is kind of individual. You don't have to be going exactly at my pace. Could be a little faster, could be a little slower. Good. Relax your jaw. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Rock back onto your back. Shift yourself to the center of your mat. Pick your feet up. Hug your knees in and rock a little bit side to side. Good. Now, we're going to pause here on our backs and do a reclined frog pose or Mandukasana. So widen your knees out wide and let your feet and your knees open up as well. Widen and play a little bit with how close your knees are pulling toward the head edge of your mat and how far they move toward the foot edge of your mat until you feel an inner thigh stretch or even just a mellow sense of lengthening. You can rock a little bit side to side here. Breathe, most importantly. Let your back relax into your mat. Good. We'll take another slow, deep breath like that. Good, and then draw your knees together and set your feet down. Roll over onto your left side. If you need to use a blanket or pillow to support your head, do, and if you can hold your head in your hand and point your elbow toward the short edge of your mat, fine. So we start with bent knees, trying to line up hips and heels and shoulders. A little bit of low belly support. We start with our ballerina clamshells. Lift your lower legs and feet off the ground. Now heels together. Inhale, we'll start to lift and lower. You can breathe at whatever pace makes sense to you. It might be then an exhale to lift and lower. But most importantly, breathe and feel. This might not be comfortable, but feel. Feel how it engages both of your outer hips and thighs, not just that top hip and thigh. Challenge yourself not to let your feet drop down, not to let your lower legs start to sag. So when your knees close, both of your kneecaps are angled down, pointing toward the mat. Relax your jaw. Notice if you're tense in your neck and shoulders where you don't need to be. Try to let go of that. Last 2 rounds. Doing great. Good. 1 more. Perfect. Drop everything down. Now we're going to straighten out our legs and bend the top knee. You've got a couple of choices. You can set that right foot in front or behind, or you can drop your knee down to the floor and prop it up if you need to. Try to really stay on your side, your left side. Start with a flexed foot, and we're going to start to lift and lower, pulsing that bottom leg, feeling your inner thighs squeeze to help you lift a little higher. Lift and lowering. Now because we're going a little bit faster, we're engaging those inner thigh muscles the whole time. So this is building up a little endurance, a little stamina. Now point your toes and keep pulsing. Lifting and lowering. Your inner thigh might be getting a little tired. Stick with it the best you can. Relax your upper back, your neck, your shoulders. And 3, 2, and 1. Good. Uncross your legs. Rock back onto your back. Shift your hips to center. Pick your feet up. Now we go for Baddha Konasana on our backs, butterfly. Widen your knees, bring the soles of your feet together. Grab either with your hands, grab your shins or ankles or even your outer feet and stretch your knees away from each other. As though your right kneecap is traveling over to the right, your left kneecap traveling over to the left. Squeeze your outer hip muscles just gently to encourage your knees to move forward just a little bit. Lengthen your inner thigh muscles and breathe. Deep and slow breaths. By paying attention, really being meditative in the moment, you can observe where you're storing tension that's unnecessary. And then from there, encourage yourself to let go a little bit more. Let's try one more breath here. Good. And then bring your feet down to the ground. We're going to take a brief reclined pigeon. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. So if you have a stretch, stay there. If you don't, pick your left foot up and either prop it up on something or reach down and grab your left leg, your thigh or your shin, and pull in. Stretch your outer right hip. Now breathe and feel. Feel the lengthening in your right outer hip, all the way up to your glutes perhaps, right to your sit bone. That's where a lot of our external rotators connect. But notice where you feel this stretch, possibly in your inner thigh a little bit. We've worked our inner thighs. They may be giving you a little more feedback than normal. Your inner thighs, especially if they're tight, will talk back a little bit to you in this position, pigeon position. Relax your lower back. Notice how your lower back feels here. Try to lengthen, especially on the right side. Let the pressure of the floor help you release a little bit of low back tension. Let's take one more slow, deep breath here. Good. And then uncross. Take a moment to straighten your legs out, and with straight legs, give a little windshield wiper flop. Then take your arms overhead, point your toes, hook your thumbs, stretch out. Take a deep breath in, out through your mouth. Bring your arms down, bend your knees, and cross your left ankle over your right knee. And then if you get a stretch with your right foot on the ground or propped up on a prop, then great. And if not, pick up and hold on. It feels good to rock side to side, and keep feeling, noticing, and breathing deeply. Broaden your shoulder blades underneath you if they need to be a little broader. Relax the back of your neck. Notice the way your left hip is stretching and the way that affects your lower body, down your leg, up into your pelvis, into your back, even your belly. Breathe all the way in as you inhale, and breathe all the way out as you exhale. Good. One more deep, slow breath like that. And when you get done, set your right foot down, uncross, straighten your legs, give them a quick little long-legged windshield wiper, flop side to side, and then take your arms up overhead. Hook your thumbs, change the hook so it feels a little less natural. Flex your feet, press your heels forward, belly in, tuck your tailbone, take a deep breath in, try to flatten your back out through your mouth. Unhook, bring your arms down, bend your knees, and roll to one side. Find your way up to sit for just a moment. So we're going to do just a couple more stretches now before our final relaxation. Find a comfortable seat. If it's not cross legs, sit in hero's pose or sit up in a chair, however you need to. All right, so this one's for our arms and shoulders. As you inhale, take your arms up, Bend your right elbow, grab hold with your left hand. Exhale, try to stack your spine up. Take a deep breath in. This is half Gomukhasana, the upper half. We're going to move now to the lower half. Exhale, bring your arms down and take your right arm behind your back. So now your arm's internally rotated. Reach across back behind you with your left hand and try to grab as close to your right elbow as you can and pull that elbow a little bit back behind you and over to the left. Good. So we're going to move back and forth between those two. So uncross. Inhale. Bend your right elbow, grab hold with your left hand. Exhale, bring your arms down. Right arm behind you. Inhale, pull with your left hand, whether you're holding your wrist or forearm or elbow, pull across behind you a little bit. And then exhale, unwind. So we'll move up to half Gomukhasana. Inhale, stretch your outer arm, outer armpit, and then exhale, right arm behind you. You might feel this in the front of your arm and shoulder. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, take it up. Good, and exhale, down, back behind you, half bind, pull it across a little bit. And 1 more. Inhale, take it up. Good, and exhale, bring it down and across. Now we're going to come up for that tricep stretch for about 30 seconds. So inhale, right arm comes up, you're going to hold and breathe. Drop your shoulders down. Try to close your right elbow joint a little bit by bringing your right wrist a little closer toward your right shoulder. Feel how your breastbone lifts. That causes your body to want to back bend. So stay heavy in your sit bones. Firm your navel in just a little bit, your low ribs in just a little bit. Breathe deeply. 1 more breath like that, all the way in. All the way out. And now bring your arm down and come to that half bound position. Nudge it across a little bit with your left hand and then either hold your left upper arm with your right hand or tuck your fingers in your waistband so your left hand can come down. Now tilt left ear to left shoulder. So now we have a half bind in that right arm. Try not to slouch. Keep your breastbone lifting. Keep that inner right shoulder moving back a little bit. And in order to keep your right arm moving a little bit more toward the midline behind you, if you're holding your upper arm on the left side, you can start to creep that left arm out just a little bit. And as you hold your arm, you may feel a little bit more stretch down your inner shoulder and inner arm. If your finger's in your waistband, don't worry about that. Just keep breathing. About 2 more breaths like that, opening up your neck and throat and possibly all the way down, inner shoulder, inner arm. Now bring your chin up, unwind your arms, and take a few alternate shoulder rolls. Good. Change the direction. And if you're sitting with crossed legs and you're pretty comfortable, change the cross. If you need to switch up how you're sitting to get more comfortable, please do. Inhale, arms up, left elbow bends. Grab hold with your right hand. Exhale, bring your arms down and half bind that left arm. Grab your left elbow and pull it across a little bit to the right behind you. So we move as a flow. Keep breathing deeply. We'll inhale and bring it up. Exhale, start to bring it down. Cross it back behind you. Grab hold. Pause, take a deep breath in. Sit up tall and exhale, unwind. So we'll go forward and back, and your breath, depending on how long or short your breath is, you may be breathing at one particular rate or another. So don't stress about your breath, just keep breathing deeply. Got 2 more rounds like this. Getting an upper arm, tricep, and outer armpit lat stretch as our arms come up overhead for that left side. And then inner arm, inner shoulder, across your chest a tiny bit. Got 1 more like that. Good. And it comes down. So now we get our 30-second tricep stretch. So come on up, bend your elbow, grab hold. Try to lengthen your spine, but use a little bit of core support. Drop your shoulders. Breathe. If you can, close that elbow joint a little bit more. Instead of letting a big 90-degree bend come into that left elbow, try to bring your left wrist or left hand a little closer to your left shoulder blade. See if that gives you a bit of a deeper stretch. Most importantly, feel and breathe. We're almost there on this side. After your next slow exhalation, bring it down. Take your left arm behind your back. Help it across the midline a little bit, and then either hold your right upper arm or fingers in your waistband. Take a breath in. When you're ready, tilt your right ear to your right shoulder. So pause there, broadening across your breastbone and your collarbones. And then maybe keep moving that left arm medially toward the midline of your body by, if you're holding your right upper arm, creeping your right fingers out to the right. That should give you a little bit more traction. If your fingers are in your waistband, you can just use the muscles of your arm and shoulder to keep drawing that left arm back and over to the right behind you. Or you can leave it out, but breathe most importantly. Almost there. Good. One more round, as deep as you can, all the way in, all the way out. And then bring your chin up, unwind your arms, one more round of alternate shoulder rolls. Good, and change the direction. All right, we're almost ready for our final relaxation. We're gonna come onto our back. So clear your mat off if you need to, come down onto your back. All we have left is a simple spinal twist. Shift your hips to the left a little bit. Sway your knees to the right. They can slide low, they can come up a little higher, more of a fetal position. Reach your left arm out to the left, turn your chin to your left. If you need to, scoot your right shoulder to the right just a little bit to help that left shoulder drop down. Good, now breathe. Encourage yourself to shift toward our final relaxation by breathing more slowly now, especially slower, deeper exhalations. Linger at the end of each exhale that you take. So rather than rushing to inhale again, relax and release at the end of your exhalations. We got another round on this side. And when you get done, rock back onto your back. Shift your hips through center and a little bit to the right. And then tilt or sway your knees to the left and adjust them lower or higher. You can let them slide apart for a more relaxed twist, or you can stack them more neatly together for a deeper twist. Right arm reaches out, palm up, chin to the right. Rest and breathe now. Slow, deep inhalations, but even slower, deeper exhalations. Relax all through your body now, your hips and legs, your feet and toes, shoulders and arms, your hands and fingers. Relax your back. Relax your belly. After your next exhalation, rock back onto your back, shift to center. Pick your feet up, hug your knees in, give yourself a final symmetrical little squeeze of your knees in, maybe a rock side to side. And then set your feet down and stretch yourself out. If you like to add props to make yourself comfortable, give yourself a pillow or neck roll or support the backs of your knees. And then take your arms out and down. Rest on the backs of your arms, backs of your hands if you can. And close your eyes. Bring your attention to your breath. Our minds have a tendency to linger in the past or to run ahead to the future if we aren't mindful, if we don't pay attention. So as you rest here for a moment and breathe, try the Buddha's recommendation, which is to, as you are inhaling, say to yourself, I am now inhaling. As you are exhaling, say to yourself, I am now exhaling. Simple technique. But while you're inhaling, the whole time that you're inhaling, can you be aware that you're inhaling? As you're exhaling, the whole length of that exhalation, can you practice being aware that you are exhaling? Be aware, not just in your lungs, not just in your chest and rib cage, but all through your body of the effects of your inhalation while you're inhaling, and the effects of your exhalations while you are exhaling. Feel your inner body rising, lifting, expanding as you inhale. And then relaxing, sinking down, releasing as you exhale. And from the pressure of your inner body, feel your outer body lifting and expanding as you inhale. And for the full length of your exhalation, feel how much of your body is releasing with gravity, down and in toward the middle of your body, down toward the ground. By staying present all the way through your inhalations, all the way through your exhalations. Notice how completely then you're breathing. This way of meditating encourages you to completely fill up your lungs and to completely empty your lungs. So now take a slow, deep breath all the way in, just like you've been doing, but this one, hold it in just for a moment at the top. Sigh it out through your mouth. And then start to wake yourself up. Move your fingers and toes. Move your hands and feet and wrists and ankles. Stretch out one last time. Take a deep breath and lengthen your whole body out through your mouth as you exhale. Bend your knees slowly, bring your arms down and roll to one side. And pause there on your side and really be there on your side for one more breath, all the way in. All the way out. And slowly bring yourself up to a seat. Once you make it all the way up to sit, inhale, stretch your arms open, and exhale, hands to your heart. Namaste.